Welcome, everyone, to Rebirth, a D&D Tale. Last we left off, our party of adventurers, the Lucky Sevens, had found themselves at the mercy of the weather currently when it came to the tribe of the Children of Fire, the sister tribe to Kinwins from the continent to the south. Upon meeting them and realizing that the weather was going to keep them from making the trek to the volcano, where their destination is for the moment, they must ride out the winter a little bit. And so, just maybe spend a little bit more time doing other things, the party decided to go south to the Garnet Keep, the mountain town sort of built into the rock face itself. A town fortified to keep out any kind of invaders or intruders. Very tall walls and sort of sheer cliffs from the mountain walkways. The party finds themselves here, and have checked into the resident Tumbled Wench. International franchise of taverns. And upon checking in and having a bit of a discussion about what they're doing here, as far as the undead presence and some conversation relating to it, Arya has literally flown the coop, transformed herself into a bird, and sorry, I had you. There was a Woden was unmuted, but here he is. We have our delightful druid. But Arya has flown out of the window, leaving the rest of her party to perhaps further discuss, or maybe go after her. Depends on their moods for the present moment. So, that is where you are, Lucky Sevens. What do you do?
Vanya is kind of looking at the window Arya had gone out of. Just kind of sighs, looks at Lagon. You're cleaning up this mess, referring to the now shattered vial of what was formerly holy water on the floor.
Yes.
And then she's going to head out and start hunting Arya down.
Lagon just kind of sheepishly nods and just gets right to work to cleaning up the mess.
I imagine Alira is currently watching this flying bird just suddenly disappear out the window with this look of, "Don't leave me!" Maybe new to the upper world, but I know some bullshit when I see it. She picks herself up off the floor, if I recall, because she just roughly fell off the goddamn ceiling. Thank you very much for destroying all 1 HP that I had.
Thankfully, I left no bumps on your head.
Yes. It's my head I landed on. Picking myself up, I've taken a point to trying to escape the circumstances as quickly as possible. I end up doing so mostly to end up getting away from the light emanating from the window, but I have no doubt that there's going to be a whole lot of questions, and at this point, escape seems to be a mandatory thing. I am quickly coming to understand why they refer to them as the Lucky Seven Stars. I mean, Lucky Seven.
Kaz at this moment is just kind of...
To me, it seems sort of ironic. We only had 7 members for a very short time, and especially me, I've been having some pretty bad luck.
That is fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
Kaz just kind of groans and goes about cleaning up something. He's just kind of doing his part the best he can.
Halfway across the city, what is presumed to be a blue jay of red color flitters on through the tundra, a striking red spot among all of the white snow and the brown dirt and mud, different kind of gray stone of the buildings around her. She finds herself upon a clothesline and flits about, observes the area, before stumbling upon a perfect little space within an alleyway, from which at this point, the magic will soon wear off. Dives in, out, walks Arya, adjusting her coat, fastening the bits. And it's only a matter of time before trouble begins. So, certainly, no, there wasn't a direct explosion, but it doesn't necessarily go unnoticed when a bunch of people just drop unconscious in the middle of a tavern, especially when there's so many newcomers. An unusual group of newcomers. Bards? No, not quite bards. Not quite a band. I digress. I'll bring a hood up. I decide I'm gonna go on a shopping trip. I stroll about the cityscape, trying to get more of a comprehension of the society that we're going to be in. There's a possibility that we're going to be in this city for 6 months. Better part of me would like to not spend that time in a jail cell.
It would be optimal.
But no. I'm not a big fan of enclosed spaces. I've had enough of being underground in a pit.
The optimal thing being not in a cage.
Spent too much time in cages. Still, though, it's left me curious. I feel like I haven't really been spending as much time as I would like getting to know people. All the people around me. So I go to individual smiths and workers and clerks and merchants and all sorts of bars just bouncing from one stall to the next stall, just all the way down the main street. Before something does catch my eye. Something in a window. I decide to make my way into a shop. It's perhaps there I will remain. Until someone finds me.
So, the one person that actually left to go and find Arya was Vanya. Vanya, I would like you to make... let's see. The appropriate roll here. would be... I am going to call for perception, because you're kind of looking for clues as to where she may have landed, where she may have gone, like footprints, things like that. That are...
Yeah, she's not necessarily continuously looking for a single bird. She knows Arya too well at this point. 23.
You have a decent idea. Especially given that this town really only has, like... It's kind of built into the mountain face, and so it's more tall than it is a wide city. And so she may have flown up to one of the other levels. She may have flown into some place to hide. It's kind of just wandering the city a little bit as you're looking around for her, whether she's still in a bird form or whether she's returned to her regular form. Either way, you did see that she transformed into a sort of reddish small bird when she did transform, so she shouldn't be hard to spot when looking out into the sky. You kind of see the what you think might be her. You start to follow it up towards another level of the city. You kind of look around. You don't spot the bird anymore, but you do spot what seemed to be there's a lot of sort of rocky sort of roads in this particular town, so it doesn't leave a whole lot in the way of footprints, but you kind of have an idea of the kinds of things that she enjoys, and so you start looking around the nearby shops, and eventually you do find a trail that you can follow, and it does lead you to a shop where Arya is standing inside the building. You can see through the window that she's speaking with the merchant inside.
She's going to sneak in and sneak up behind her.
Well, that would do a whole lot of good if there wasn't a dinging bell above the door.
Just because there's a bell doesn't mean it's going to be Vanya at the door.
No, and Arya, do you turn around at the dinging door?
No, because I am up to my neck deep in a bartering contest with this clerk right now, because I saw this beautiful guitar and I absolutely refuse to leave without it, and I'm holding up the cylindrical gemstone that we pulled from the automaton ages ago, and I'm sitting here trying to convince this man that this is probably the most sophisticated piece of technology he's going to see in the next 50 years of his life. So he has to take it right now on the best possible deal ever, so that, or potentially we can trade out, and in exchange, I receive the guitar, he gets tech. This is honestly the best decision he could be making.
Well, let's see. Let's see if that's a convincing argument. Make a persuasion check. Because you've walked into a music shop trying to sell tech, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, all right.
Good luck.
And Vanya, you do see an array of instruments on the walls.
Okay, that's a 13 plus 8. How much is that?
That's 21.
21.
21? Yeah.
21 for fun?
He's not convinced to just take the tech. He does want some payment on top. So he'll take the tech and half of the usual price on an instrument. I'm not sure what the usual price is on instruments. And since guitar is not a 5E instrument, it's just...
Yeah, I just kind of based it off from the lyre, I think.
Base it off a lyre? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean lute.
A lute, okay.
My brain is something else today. 35 gold.
Okay. So I'll take 17 gold and the tech from you.
Damn it. I only have 6 gold on me at the moment. I'm trying so hard.
You do see...
It's about that point.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah, we still got that party fun, though, right?
The problem is, Arya doesn't have access to it as she fled the hotel.
Ah, yes.
So it's about that time where Arya's probably seen how much gold she's got, that Vanya's gonna sneak up behind her and just kind of wrap her arms around her from behind.
Oh! And Arya at that point will just like peek around her shoulder. Dang it! Yeah, I was thinking I would be able to surprise you.
I have 5 silver on me, but I don't think I'll be able to help much.
Nope.
I got worried. He took off out of the window so fast.
It's only a matter of time before someone starts asking questions as to why it is that as soon as a tavern gets new travelers, she looks over at the clerk, that they're famous.
Famous?
Yes, you see, we're a band. We're a roving band, and at this point we've accrued quite a degree of fame. You probably haven't heard of us just yet, but that's okay. We're about to play very soon in this city.
We have a performance tonight, actually.
Oh. Well, no wonder you need a new guitar.
Certainly, and one as beautiful as that. I couldn't ignore it. So, perhaps I can convince you. We're going to be in the city for a while. Maybe I could do some work around the shop to make up for the difference.
Well, you did say you're travelers, you're a roving band. I don't expect you to stay for long, now that you've said that. So, it's kind of an upfront cash or nothing at all.
I see.
You could always come back when you have your funds.
This is true.
I could lay it away for you.
Layaway works perfect. Yes, we'll do that. All right.
That'd be
For
5
now,
gold
here's
deposit.
Easy. Done. And she'll put down the golds, just a small little sack, probably about as big as a dice bag. Goes ahead and hands him the electronics.
The total price of this is really a steal, because it is capable of projecting the sound much further than you possibly would realize.
That sounds wonderful.
So
See,
say,
the
for
thing that
instance, you're playing in a venue like an opera house. Why you would take a guitar to an opera house, I don't know, but...
And how does that sound? And she turns to Vanya with a raised eyebrow, like, did I do good?
That sounds interesting. Sounds like it'd be beautiful.
You haven't even seen it yet. Oh my goodness. And she'll point it out.
I think in order to keep it a surprise, I better not see it.
Oh, a surprise.
You're right. Well, it was supposed to, but clearly I've been found.
Clearly.
Well, I won't tell if you don't.
We'll keep it our little secret then. And she will go and just like press her finger up to Vanya's lips before waltzing out. I'll be back tomorrow for you. Thank you very much, sir. I am so very happy to be doing business with you.
Please come again.
You can count on it.
Gotta keep my eye on that one. She's gonna follow her out.
And this and this shop clerk looks exasperated.
Kids these days.
Which is a little bit of a strange thing to see on a Goliath.
Yeah, usually they're as stoic as a stone.
Not this
Giant
guy.
jokes.
Only bring something out like that.
And that's kind of the big thing that you see about this town, is it is very accommodating for those of a 7-foot height and taller. It makes you feel small as far as cities go, where normally you have like your average height sort of doors. These doors are very tall.
You'd expect the size of some of these townhomes to be they're almost like castles in a strange way.
Ceilings are like 15 feet tall at the standard.
I do like all the space, though. Feels quite nice.
Quite different
And-
than the games that we were just in, at least.
Yes, I agree. I do have to say, I'm sorry for just disappearing on everyone like that. But, of course, there are other things I wanted to accomplish tonight. I figured I'd get them done really fast. Well, chaos ensues.
Well, I've left Lagan and Kaz in charge of that, so we'll have to see how that turns out. But I'm pretty sure that we can find some way to explain. I mean, after all, we did bullshit our way into the city.
It's true. It is quite true. Though at this point, it's starting to feel less and less like bullshit if we actually have to show up for our bullshit.
Oh, I don't see that being a problem.
No, certainly not. Not with an angel's voice such as yours. She will lock arms with Vanya.
And here I was thinking about yours.
So, my fair lady, would you mind escorting me today?
I'd be glad to.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to see if I could find. I'm not sure I will because, well, this particular city seems to be more geared towards a very specific set of deities. But having thoughts lately. Dreams. About dragons.
What kind of dreams?
Not the ones I expect. Usually I'm so used to memories. Fleeting ones. Distant ones. Very, very different time, but it's strange. It's what I understand as how the world was before, how I understood dragons before were terrible things. This world's... I almost wonder if it's infecting me. Their love of them. I don't understand it. And yet, I want to.
Well, let's go and find these answers for you then. Try to help
Okay.
however I can.
Thank you. Do you know much about What was the creature's name? Bahamut.
Not much. We were kind of doing our own research back in Kombe on him, off and on. About a century ago, I saw a silver dragon in his same form over the mountains near my town. Come to find out, that was a different dragon, I guess you could say, named Selter.
Really? I'm curious.
Don't know the full story on that, but Selter is quite the being, I suppose you could say. Not really a dragon, more of a sentient dragon-shaped ship.
Oh. My. I'm not quite sure how that works.
I don't know either, and I don't think her companion could find a way to properly explain it.
Well, it sounds like something I'm very interested in getting to know personally. Is there any way to contact them? And get aboard this Selter ship. The SS Selter.
I'm sure we could try. She's just gonna kind of look up at the sky. Professor, I don't even know if you can hear me, but you mind bringing us up for a visit? She's not sure as to how the whole thing works. She just knows that apparently he's keeping an eye on them.
Perhaps momentarily, my dear. I'm a little preoccupied. You hear that in your mind.
Fair enough. Just whenever you get the chance. I have someone here who is interested in meeting Selter.
Oh boy.
He will when he gets a chance.
What kind of magic is this? Are you really speaking to someone right now? Are you playing with me?
I am really speaking to someone. And she is going to explain as best she can, Professor Cypher.
Wizards. It's always wizards. Always fucking wizards. What an unusual character. Somehow something seems familiar about it, though. I'm sure I'll figure it out soon.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be very...
We could find a temple for Bahamut.
We could? My dear, would you accompany me for a ceremony?
Of course.
Wonderful. Splendid. Oh. I can't wait. And she will lock arms with Vanya, and they're gonna go and try and find themselves a temple of Bahamut.
Make an investigation check.
Alright.
Can I assist with that?
You can, so roll at advantage.
Oh, thank you. Because my investigation is balls. It's a whole... Okay. First roll is 18. Second roll is 7. I will take the flat 18. Thank you.
Flat 18. Alright.
Damn, I should have been the one making that. I have a +5.
Well, dice is rolled, dice is rolled.
Yep.
When it comes to temples, there are a few in the area. A couple of which are dedicated to all three of the what's considered the creator gods. A couple that are smaller that are dedicated to individual gods, but you find more in the way of a small shrine dedicated to Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. You see a sort of entry archway that kind of leads up a sort of white set of stairs, like stone stairs, cobblestone stairs, kind of leading up to a kind of looks like an offering box with a statue of a dragon in front of it. It's a very sort of long and snake-like dragon, very kind of almost looks like there's sort of feathers, very long scales almost, that kind of look like feathers in the sculpture. The wings are sort of curled up and kind of in a resting position as the dragon stands on its hind legs and has this sort of long snout and is just kind of wielding what looks like a sword and a like a scales that you would see in kind of as a balance sort of a thing. You know that Kurobe was very much an admirer of the Platinum Dragon, and this kind of looks like the images of Bahamut that he's described to you before. And so the statue is kind of surrounded by kind of a 3-wall sort of building with a ceiling that's kind of made out of kind of wooden stone, almost like the statue was kind of carved out of the rock behind it, and then the sort of shrine was built kind of around that to encase it. And so it's you do see that there are a couple of clergymen who are wearing sort of cleric's robes and vestments that seem to be sort of monitoring and cleaning, kind of sweeping away any kind of road dust, any kind of foliage that maybe falls from the upper levels of trees and things. Kind of just doing some maintenance around the place.
Oh, okay. Out of character, Coffee. This is player 2 DM. What I'm specifically searching for right now is a component.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a dragon figurine worth at least 500 gold pieces.
A figurine. Okay.
Yes.
So, as a part of this, there is there are also figurines to purchase, to take home, much like you're looking for. A lot of which are very kind of modest in price. There are some that are made of solid gold that would be worth that much. Kind of like you were saying, 500 gold worth. In the same similar shape as the statue that you're seeing at the offering box right now. They're meant to be part of an offering. If you wanted to make one, of course you can take it home with you as part of your own home shrine. That's perfectly acceptable.
Arya is just kind of fixate on one.
Mm-hmm.
And of the different ones that are lined up, this one specifically seems to be somewhat dinged up a bit. Almost as if it's been in use, it's been around. Maybe all of these different gold figurines, they have like gems for eyes. This one is missing one.
It's a little
It's
quirky.
got dents and a little bit quirky. Maria just kind of fixates on it for a moment. And she picks it up and just views it in her hands.
You've seen gold dragons before.
We have. They're just like creatures, but only just for themselves.
Something going through your head?
I've been having in my dreams image of a dragon, a small one, that perhaps for a moment I'm holding. I've been having dreams of another dragon. Well, it's very much like the small one. The other one, I do know who it was, though. You see she just fades off, holds on to the statuette, and grips it for a moment. Would it be presumptuous if could we perhaps purchase this?
Of course. I don't see why not.
Thank you. Just when she holds it, the one singular eye glimmering back at her. There's just, I feel so strange about it. About these feelings that I'm having. These images and dreams. And it feels nostalgic.
Sort of
I feel
like
like my-
memories.
But it also makes me very sad. Do you miss him?
Yes. I do. Very much.
Nari's gonna reach down and hold Vanya's hand. And she grips it.
But he also led me to you. For that I am thankful.
I suppose I could say the same. I don't want to be lost in the past too much longer than this. But I would like to take this with me.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
And on the way out, Vanya's also going to toss some coins into the offering box.
Okay, and that's where the priest, the sort of shrine attendant, instructs you to present your offering as for the payment on the statuette, that they are they're not closely monitoring how much you put the into the box, but an offering to Bahamut is graciously accepted when taking a relic home.
Specs, you said it was what, 500 gold?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vanya's just adding on top of that.
Okay.
So
Yeah, they're not closely monitoring how much you put in, so you could
yeah.
be thrifty if you wanted to sneakily, wink wink. But if you don't want to be, if you want to be,
Gee, against what? A god of justice? No, thank you. I know how that is. No.
I will throw in 5 silver and 32 copper, which
Oh,
is literally all the money I have.
you and Alira are not present in this moment.
Oh, okay.
You guys were you guys were still at the tumbled wench. You didn't indicate whether you were going to be going with Vanya or not. So, so it's the two of them by themselves for the moment. But we will be getting back to Alira and Kinwin here very shortly. And so you leave your offering of however much you're putting in, because I trust you to keep your own to keep your own gold. You put your offering in. It kind of clinks into the bottom of the stone basket, and you are free to leave with your little statuette in hand. Solid gold with a sapphire eye.
Beautiful. Well, that said, I think Arga is pretty content with this little shopping trip, an investigation.
All right. Well, then let's get back to Alira and Kinwin and see what they get up to during these couple hours that all of you are kind of separated. So, what are you all doing?
I guess I've just been drinking.
Just been drinking? Spending some time with some alcohol? Or is it more tea or coffee that you're drinking?
Oh yeah, I was definitely thinking alcohol. Nice mead.
Okay. Some nice drinks. Okay. Couple hours worth of drinks will cost you a gold piece. And Alira, what are you up to? Are you joining Kinwin in the festivities of alcohol, or no?
I imagine that Alira has been going about like trying to stay low as far as what's been going on in the tavern. So wants no part of that place at this point because most of it has been rendered unconscious due to unforeseen circumstances that will not be discussed.
I only have half a gold. Could I have been drinking like the really cheap shit?
Oh yeah, cheap stuff. You're then I'm not gonna make you make a Constitution check because it's basically swill. It's basically watered down mead. That's very
Don't tell them the history of moonshine.
very little flavor at all. But yeah, Lyra, you can you notice that kind of watching people in the tavern, it doesn't seem like very many people were affected by whatever happened in the room. Maybe it was a contained situation. It doesn't seem like anybody's really talking much about it. So maybe that's a good thing. As far as what you can understand and overhear. But yeah, you are free to do what you like. If you want to keep your head down, you're perfectly fine to do so.
No. I was saying I was just keeping out of the tavern more than anything. What I was trying to end up doing was I was going about see if I can hear more about the undead presence and see if I can end up getting a degree of leads while observing the city, taking full documentation, trying to end up understanding their ways.
Okay.
As, the tongues of giants is not my forte, and so I'm mostly just trying to end up figuring things out in the old-fashioned way. Observe things.
Through observance.
Kill.
Okay. So
And
less,
maybe I'll get a whiff of something that's dead. Who
Yeah.
knows?
doing less of the kind of rumor gathering, given the language barrier, but more of the perception of what may be going on, what clues you might be able to find throughout the city, kind of wandering around. Okay.
That is correct.
Kind of wandering around the, because since it's kind of rumors of corpses getting up and walking, kind of making your way towards the cemetery section of the city to find clues. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
That is an 18.
18.
10 plus 18. Plus 10 plus 8.
Okay. You do see evidence of what you've been hearing as far as corpses getting up and walking. You see fragments of clothing that might have been buried with the individual. You see fragments of maybe dead flesh, things like that. And what this particular city tends to do when it comes to their deceased is the corpses are stored in a crypt, which is a lot easier to kind of fashion rather than digging into frozen soil during the winter. And so, maybe it's temporary, maybe it's permanent, but there's plenty of sort of crypt-like buildings and sort of tunnels dug into the wall in a kind of ceremonial fashion into the mountain wall, and kind of almost like one would dig a mine, except for it's the storage of corpses. And so you do see evidence of kind of just around the area. You do see a few pieces of evidence that corpses have gotten up and walked, including footprints of old shoes, bare feet, things like that.
I will end up doing what I can to track these near prints, trying to end up finding out. Maybe is there one that's walking normal? Are they all heading in a general direction? I'm going to end up using most of my survival skills to end up looking about it.
To determine.
Well, snow might be a new thing. Tracking is not.
No, that's definitely. You've definitely tracked things in much more rocky terrain when it comes to prints and things like that. So go ahead and make that survival check. Is it Derek Dice or
9 on a nat 1.
Oh no!
Not for efficiency though. Can I give them help them out with an advantage?
Thought you were drinking.
Oh, were you going with, or were you drinking?
Oh well, I was drinking while they were before.
Yeah, this is all kind of happening at the same time. With Vanya and Arya, and then with Alira, and then you can join along. You just won't have had much to drink. I mean, you're not really getting drunk. Maybe you're getting a little bored in the fact that you're not getting drunk. So, yeah, I'll allow it. If you want to be present.
He's only doing this because it's Derek rolls. He really doesn't want this to end on a nat 1.
I mean, you could roll again for that advantage. Oh no, that's it. Did you roll a nat 1 again?
1 or 1, take your pick.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, it seems that the snow in the region.
Spend like the next 12 hours just walking in a circle, lost.
Derek Dice in chat if you've got him.
Yeah. Derek Dice in chat if you got him. But Yeah,
Digital, physical, there is no escape.
no escape. Sad. I'm so sad. Very sad for you. Um, Elira, you get maybe it's the fact that snow has been introduced into the equation that it's kind of throwing you off right now, and it's kind of throwing you off to a point where you're just getting frustrated that you can't. It seems like people in this town seem to drag their feet because you see lots of that. Maybe they're dragging more than that. Maybe the gait of these people is very hard to determine because they're giantkin. It's it's just baffling you a little bit, and you just kind of you just kind of sit in the ground, like in the spot where you just stop and you just kind of sit there and maybe just take it in for a moment because you're just. It seems like this is fighting you somehow. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But you've never had this much difficulty trying to trace creatures before. You could trace creatures across solid rock in the underground tunnels of the deep. But for some reason, tracing things in snow and mud, which should leave much better tracks, is just... Why is it so difficult? Why is this world so different? And Kinwin, you can see the frustration in her.
I don't know what to end up thinking at this point.
I
Don't
do
say
have
we can
another
anything.
way we could go. I assume there are plants around us, like grass and trees or something.
Well, it's winter. They're all kind of dead. But you see the leftovers of which, since it is early in the winter.
Yeah. No evergreen trees, I guess, then?
Well, there is, but they're kind of they're kind of present, kind of in the surrounding sort of outside the city, where there is some within the city, but a lot of the foliage kind of goes up the mountain and kind of maybe is a little dotted around the rest of the city. So there is an evergreen tree somewhat nearby. It's like several hundred feet from you right now.
Okay. So then I am going to cast Speak with Plants at 3rd level.
Speak with plants at 3rd level. So you're going to find a tree and go speak with it.
I will approach the evergreen and ask it if it has seen any undead creatures in the area.
Let's see. Speak with plants. That what mechanically what does that do? That's just ask like a single question, or is that?
Well, it lasts for 10 minutes. You imbue plants within 30 feet of you with limited sentience and animation, giving you the ability to communicate with you and follow your simple commands. You can question plants about events in the spell's area within the past day, gaining information about creatures that have passed, weather, and other circumstances.
Okay. So things
You
that
can
are
turn difficult terrain into ordinary terrain, and
okay.
and that's about it.
Okay. So you ask it about the undead that's been going on in the area. And that's limited with within the last day or so. This tree speaks with a somewhat old voice that you just hear in your mind. It's not like it's actually speaking words to you. It's more conveying. It's more conveying a feeling. It feels like this tree is old. And when it describes the what's happened over the last day or so, you get the sense that this tree has watched this cemetery for a long time, ever since it was built, really, and that there were more visitors in the night than usual, and that a few of those who had been resting here for many, many years got up and walked. So visitors came during the night. They went into one of the crypts, and more than just the visitors came out. Given that it has sort of a limited range of what it could perceive, and that its sentience is limited, that's about all you can get.
Can't get a general direction they may have gone in out of it.
It said they left, but it like the perception sort of range of the plant is like within like 30 feet of itself. Is that correct?
I don't know. The spell didn't say anything about that.
I thought you said that. Let me look at the spell.
It's the plants within 30 feet of me that
Right.
gain the sentience and animation.
Right. Okay. There's that. And then it senses what it can perceive. Oh, let me actually look at the spell, because that's going to determine how much it saw. Because it is, like I said, several hundred feet away.
Actually doesn't say. It just says the 30 feet within a caster, nothing else.
Oh, okay. Okay. Events. About events in the spell's area. So
Yeah,
within that 30 feet range. So it did perceive things get close to it at that point. But as far as what direction they were going, it came toward the tree and then away from the tree.
Okay, so all I got that was that they were here.
That they were here.
I don't know where they went. And I've got 10 minutes before this spell runs out, so maybe I should quickly run in a couple different directions and ask some other trees if they see undead.
Okay. Let's see. There are a couple of trees kind of sporadic around. None that are really that much closer, so they wouldn't have seen anything. And you have the ability to ask a couple of trees that, and they don't seem to see anything of note. A lot of these trees do have very old voices.
Went in the direction away from all these trees that I asked.
They might have. If the trees didn't see anything, yeah, means they went in the opposite direction.
I mean, right now it's kind of all we got.
Yep.
So you can't find the trail with them any further.
No, the trees have described that they haven't seen anything aside from that one.
Is there any way for me to? There's really no way for me to use that knowledge, is there? Is
Unless Kinwin
secondhand.
tells you.
Okay. Well, even then, I'm not sure what I would end up using him for. So I feel like I'm drawing a blank on something that should be very freaking obvious.
Well,
Not that you know and how that feels like.
oh, I know that feeling all too well. Since you're having such a hard time finding the trail of them within the footprints of the snow and mud and the trees, the three trees, out of the three trees that Kinwin is able to talk to in this sort of general area. Now keep in mind these trees are kind of far away, like several hundred feet away from this cemetery, and so the closest one was the first one he talked to, and they did pass by that tree, but the other trees kind of going in like that similar direction, they didn't see anything. So maybe that's a clue in itself. Like Kinwin was saying, is that they could have gone in a different direction after they passed this tree, the first one.
Yeah, speaking in that broken Elvish. It's like they just disappeared. Gone in another direction. How many more directions? They didn't go march through town. They didn't end up wandering up this way or this way. The old bark there ended up saying they saw one leave not too long ago. Is that correct?
Correction, it was during the night.
Not too long ago, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I screwed myself with the doubles natural once.
Oh no.
I got nothing. I got nothing without it turning into reroll over reroll over reroll.
Yep. You'd have to give it some time before you can come back and try again.
Just kind of just lumps on the head, pretty the last spot in them. Just starts speaking in something. It's for most people it might as well be tongues, but you should clearly just letting out. You get the idea that it's expletives of that may be found uniquely in deep speech.
Kinwin, she sounds like she's muttering garbage. So, what do you do next?
I got nothing. So I'm leaving that to Kinwin.
I do a survival check to try to see if I can find any evidence of them in the areas away from the trees I asked.
So because you both spent time you spent time giving Alira advantage on that, it does mean that sort of in a way you also rolled a natural one. So it's kind of a no dice sort of a deal. You do have to give it some time before you can come back and do it again,
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
since you were helping.
Alright, Roll a survival check.
Sorry, I fucked us.
I mean, either that or I guess we just head off in the direction away from the trees, I guess.
There's always that. If you want to kind of wander in that direction, you certainly can. But any way you slice it, it is away from the cemetery and kind of away from the trees. So that gives you kind of a general-ish direction, which means back into the city.
Where would they be in the city? And, well, you said it's a village or a city. I'm confused as to the scope of this place now.
It's a city. It's like a large fort city.
Okay.
It's got like multiple levels. It's kind of carved in and built around the base of the mountain. It's kind of a fort. Think Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings, kind of a deal.
It's a big ass fort.
Yep. So.
None of us have explosives.
Nope. Why you would need explosives, I don't know. But, that being said...
Some orcs breach the wall.
Well, thankfully no one needs to breach the wall right now. So, there you go. But yeah, it kind of leads you back in the direction of, back into the city. And, so you're free to explore, or you're free to go back into the Tumbled Wench, or do whatever else you want to do.
Well, I don't know about my companion, but I will end up continuing to explore because we need to end up figuring out what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the purpose of our venture here, isn't it?
That was the purpose.
Did we get access back to the party fund?
Vanya has it on her person, so you would have to collect some funds from her to be able to use any of it.
Actually, can I mitigate that by saying she probably handed some out before the whole entire incident happened? Because they were discussing shopping before the psychic grenade.
Oh, okay.
If I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. So what were you intending to shop for?
I don't know what Lagan was after, but I know he was after some. Vanya was off and find a new outfit for the performance, but she would have like maybe handed out some coin beforehand, and then the whole psychic grenade thing kind of took over.
So what are you looking to buy, Kinwin?
I attempted to buy poison myself, but could not locate any. I'm not that familiar with the black market.
No.
I was hoping one of my friends here could help me locate some poison.
Well, you'd have to ask your friends. Obviously, Alira is not familiar with the surface world in general. She might have a decent idea as to how to get in touch with such shady figures. Does she have any kind of background or skill that might allow her to get in contact with shady folk? Derek?
I'm not sure what my options are, really.
Well, when it comes to like trying to find, the kinds of ne'er do wells who would have stock poison, it'd be kind of like thieves can't or
No, I don't have anything attached to thieves.
Oh, okay. And
That's a horrible stereotype. You should be ashamed of yourself.
well, I wasn't stereotyping. I was just asking.
Because I'm a drow. That's what this is about, isn't it?
I never knew that was a stereotype. But the other thing you could possibly do would be some kind of charisma check if you wanted to hop bars and see if you could meet some shady folk. But
I'll give it a shot. I mean, I'll do just about anything at this point. Though and that would be a persuasion check.
Yeah, make a persuasion. You do have Kinwin present, so you can roll at advantage. If Kinwin is helping.
I'm not sure if my dice can focus on this. Guess what that is again?
Another one?
What?
4 in a row.
How the?
Wait, 2 ones again?
2 ones again.
Nope, re-roll it. Re-roll it. I don't believe it. I'll allow a re-roll.
An 8.
And plus your charisma?
An 8.
Oh no. Oh.
So
Lyra.
1 1 1 1 8. That has been my dice roll is on a D20.
Jeez. Those dice need to be jailed.
No, it doesn't matter what dice I use. That's the thing. I've realized this. It does not matter what dice I use.
Oh.
We have jumped from digital dice. We have jumped from regular dice. I've gone through 12 different dice sets. There is no curing this.
Nope, there's a Derek dice. There's Derek dice. Oh, honey. That's just sad.
On the plus side, at least it's not another nat 1.
Yeah. So now you understand why I like dice pools with reroll possibilities.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
completely understand that. Man. Yep, well. Sadly, they just consider you maybe a little too strange to give you really much to work off of, Alira. Anyone that you're talking to is not, I wouldn't say that they're not polite. They're just not interested in a conversation. They're just maybe moving on to what they were doing before having interacted with you, and maybe it's rude. Maybe they're being rude. And Kinwin, you're kind of since you were helping in that too, you're also kind of getting that same cold shoulder, where maybe a lot of these Goliaths just aren't liking the elven folk, and they're just.
I imagine that this conversation has gone so horribly wrong. She has misinterpreted something somebody says, and is currently like half jumped over the bar trying to end up getting at the barkeep. Kinwin's like shouldering her off the bar trying to end up pulling her away, dragging her up. No, she's fine. She just pre-gamed before she showed up here. You son of a bitch.
And maybe there's some pity looks coming from other patrons of the bar, but yeah, you're not getting very far when it comes to the rumor mill.
That she can be hauled out of the bar like a drowned cat, just grabbed by the scruff and just dangling there. She's angry, cold, and damp, and is about to be thrown outside again.
Oh. Nope, not having any luck with that either. Sadly. Kinwin, you may be starting to wonder, do any of your party members have any kind of suaveness to them? Perhaps Alira was not the one to ask in regards to this. But,
I was really thinking more like Lagan, like the pirates might have been able to do it.
maybe, but you're so far inland, his reach to a pirate's nature might be a little limited, but might be more successful than maybe someone who doesn't have that kind of a background. Given the sort of gray area sort of dealings that the Anbani takes part in. But you're free to do a little bit more if you like, and eventually, if there's more that you want to do. You've spent some time grave searching. You've spent a bit of time kind of bar hopping, seeing if you can pick up on the rumor mill. It's and a lot of the rumors that you are hearing are things that you've heard prior to even arriving too. So it's
We have two people in this party who main charisma. And for some reason, whenever this party, any other member is going out and doing the things that require charisma, they never bring them. Ever.
Well, Arya had flown the coop and Vanya went to go find her, so maybe that's maybe they were kind of just working with the hand they were dealt.
I see your
Charisma
point.
was actually my second highest stat.
That's okay. Maybe next time Kinwin will roll the charisma roll instead. But yeah, you can make your way back to the Tumbled Wench if you like. After having done some investigating, you did find a couple of things that might be interesting. But as far as where they actually are, that's going to take a little bit more time to find. But you do have an idea that perhaps they've marched these undead bodies back into the city somewhere. But that's what you've got so far, and you can all meet back up if you like.
Content to.
Yeah.
We do have a show to go on.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
And a Professor Cypher that you called.
Phoned a friend.
Eventually, kind of as the two of you are walking, he does kind of appear almost out of nowhere.
Hello, Professor.
Ah, yes. Hello.
This is Arya, the newest additions to the Lucky Sevens. Arya, this is Professor Cypher, Stelter's companion.
I see. So you're the famous individual, the professor. I literally just heard about you today.
Oh,
But, I feel like I've seen your face.
I don't think I've seen yours before.
And Vanya's going to lean over to Arya and just kind of whisper, it's because we met him.
Oh! Oh, Rune met him. Okay.
Oh.
That explains it.
Oh.
That explains it.
You're the metal man's friend.
There is a long story behind this. Actually, you could say Rune led us to her.
Right. Right, I remember you saying that at one point. I've been preoccupied. We'll just say.
Fair enough.
You know, have to do a lot of things.
You're a professor, you say. What is it that you study?
Everything.
Everything.
Yes.
Well, I'm also discovering that there's an awful lot of everything that one could study.
Yes, there is. And, not enough time in the world, it seems.
Well, Professor, one must make do with very niche scenarios. Find what you can in the small crevices of that everything. Right?
Indeed. So, are we going to stand in the middle of the road, or are we headed somewhere?
Well, that's a good question. I believe that we asked for an invitation upon the SS Salter, the great dragon ship.
Dragon.
Does that... That is what I understood. Did I get it wrong?
No, she is simply a dragon.
Well, I didn't know how to exactly explain the fact that we were inside a dragon, other than describing it as a sentient dragon-shaped ship at the moment.
Aha.
You could perhaps explain better than I could.
Well... I don't know that I possibly could.
Well... Oh gosh, goodness gracious, what's the time?
It is getting to sunset.
Oh, we do have the show to do.
Ooh, a
How
show.
about this? Yes. Professor Cypher, if you would like, I'm more than happy to invite you to our Lucky Seven's band presentation. I'm not sure what it is. A concert, maybe?
Oh,
And she...
it's been a while
just-
since I've actually heard a concert. Please, indulge me.
Yes. And then in exchange, I would adore it if you could indulge me. Take me to see Seltzer.
That's fair enough trade, I think. Where to?
To the Tumbled Wench.
Seems like every town has a tumbled wench these days.
They do.
Oh,
They really do.
I hear it's a franchise. Like, very, very famous.
Worldwide,
They play our
one might even think.
Seems so.
Lead the way.
I can see both girls just kind of interlinking arms with him to just lead him off. One on one side, the other on the other.
And the three of you do
Abducted.
get some strange looks as you're walking back to the tumbled wench too. So, but that does give us the opportunity for everyone to be present. And I think we're going to take a quick break real quick, because I need to get some water, and we'll see what happens with the performance. So, be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to Rebirth, a D&D Tale. The Lucky Sevens, the 4 members that we've been following for today's session, have all made their way back to the Tumbled Winch, just in time for the performance that they promised to be getting ready for, as well as performing this current night. And along with a few odds and ends, some new clothes have been purchased for the performance as well by those who wanted to, and thus we're going to get right to that. The space has kind of been set aside that you all have enough room to be able to play your instruments and or sing as is appropriate to the skill that you have participating in this thing. So we've got Vanya, we've got Arya, we've got Kinwin, we've got Alira. All of you are going to be together helping each other to perform. Kaz and Lagan are going to be also helping as well. And so in a sense, I'm actually just going to call this a group check where everyone's going to roll performance, and the passes will outweigh the fails, sort of a thing. So I will roll for Lagan and Kaz, and you will each roll for each other.
In the process of this, I'm giving Bardic Inspiration to Alira.
Bardic Inspiration to Alira. All right.
What roll is that for?
A performance check. For you doing your part in the performance.
Yeah, that figures.
Ooh, yikes. Okay. Where is it?
I can badly hit some grounds.
Okay. So Kaz made a 19, where Lagan made a 7. What do the rest of y'all have?
17 plus 8, chap.
Holy moly. That's because you're a
Nat
born
20.
performer. Ooh!
Mm-hmm.
Ooh! Love to see
Plus
it.
10, that's 30.
Damn.
Oh!
Damn, son.
The dice come in when it matters for me, apparently.
Alright. And for Alira? Alira? Your performance check?
Why are you making me roll?
Because it's a group check.
You have Bardic Inspiration too, so.
I'll take the first roll.
It wasn't
this
at
is
advantage. It
one.
was a regular roll.
Okay, well, first roll then was in 19.
Ooh.
We'll take those.
Delicious.
We'll take those, and I'm
Plus your
going to go
D6
back.
and your modifier? Your modifier is 0,
I have
right?
no modifier.
And a D6 for
that
your
is
Bardic.
25.
25. Nice. 25.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
There's
Sexy.
the most we needed. Where were you earlier?
And for Kinwin?
I got a 9.
9. Okay. The successes far outweigh those who maybe are a little less inclined, like Lagan and Kinwin, but the rest of you have done an amazing job to sway the hearts of those listening to your performance. It goes on for a couple hours.
Walking around screaming like overwhelmed.
Arya has been trying to distract people away from the unusualities of the performance by using minor illusion as a cantrip and creating these beautiful, like, dancing lights all around everyone. Just floating figures and, like, illusory animals that are almost like wisps and spirits floating through the air. A
Very
beautiful
nice.
light show.
And Vanya.
And in
really
addition,
wants that throne.
And Vanya is playing the guitar like she never has before. Like, this is
just
an
fucking
immaculate.
shredding it.
It's an immaculate performance. She's done it to perfection this time around. Alira is how exactly is Alira contributing with that 25? Is she singing? Is she playing an instrument? Is she dancing? Is she using
She
some
is actually
cantrips?
playing an instrument.
Ooh,
She is actually playing an instrument.
nice.
I'm just trying to remember. Because I did pick one up. Starter kit. Oh no, I guess I screwed that up. I was thinking of a kit. I think she's more just trying to do some degree of crowd direction badly.
Badly. You did got a 25. That's not bad.
Oh, it just happens to be working at the time of it. It's much like an acid rave. You don't need to do it well for it to work.
Yep, she's contributing in her own way by throwing in some vocals. You know, doing the crowd control, I guess. The performance is still going very well. Kinwin and Lagan are a little awkward in the performance, but the fact that the rest of you kind of made well over 20 is making up for that fact. So
As the show draws to kind of its ending acts, Arya will kind of go around and peruse the different seats for tips, if anyone has them. Of course, mostly directing the vast majority of the funds to our wonderful hostess who is letting us play tonight and giving us room and board. But maybe taking a little off the top because I have a guitar I need to buy.
I'm rolling a dice. Ooh. That's a lot. Okay, I rolled a D100 and I got a 99. Generous tips in the form of the fact that you have performed very well. I was going to add on top of the D100, so it's going to be 99 plus 20, which is 119 gold.
Beautiful. I'm just gonna take the last, was it like 11 that I need for the guitar?
Yeah, if you
paid
the 5 gold deposit, you do have to pay the rest.
Yes. All right. So that leaves us 17 minus 5. That's 12. So yeah, she'll just take 12, pocket it for herself. She'll visit the music store tomorrow.
Okay.
Everything else, discuss with the party. First off, pay our hostess for the time that we will be here. That is to say, how long do we plan to be here?
Right.
We can certainly play again. That's a feasible thing, should we need to.
Crowd loved you, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely tipped very generously tonight.
Wouldn't mind playing again. As often as we need to.
I wouldn't mind either. It was positively enjoyable.
It was. Something special tonight.
And the professor is just clapping from the background. Just loudly.
It's like a standing ovation of just him as a rando.
Kind of spurring the rest of the crowd to kind of standing ovation too.
Wonderful. How about we pay for coffee? How much would it be to pay for like just the next, I don't know, in-game month, whatever a month would be?
A month? Well, let me determine pricing per night on a inn, because this is a rather standard sort of, inexpensive inn, and they pay per room and not per person. And so if you're going to book a room out for a month, it does just kind of limit their clientele for being people to stay over because they don't have very many rooms, but it does mean that they're getting steady wages for a month. So so I'm going to say that at 2 gold per room per night would that's 4 times 30, that's 120 gold.
Okay.
So for 30 days.
I can accept this.
Yep. We just have to take a little bit off top of party funds, but that is just fine.
All right. You have accommodations for the 2 rooms for to split between you both, between the 7 or 6 of you and the dog, and
And the dog.
Which does mean also that Zephyr will need accommodations for a month.
He will. If I remember correctly, when we were discussing this last session, the price of the stables for him was included.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, then yeah. The 2 gold per night for 30 days will cover room and board for Zephyr as well. So he can stay boarded or he can travel with you. It is up to you what you want to do with him during that time, but he will have a place to sleep and food to eat. As will you all. At least for one meal.
And we are steady for a month. So as long as we are steady, I do believe that we will have plenty of time to figure out any further logistics behind traveling needs, funds, perhaps figure out what's going on here. The point is, it gives us time.
Yeah.
The question is, how much time do we have beyond the city? But
As we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
certainly. That said, Anya, did you want to go tonight?
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
Okay. Vanya, you might notice that she keeps trying to like sneak glances at you, at your dress, the outfit that you've been wearing tonight. This beautiful, like exotic piece of fine drapery and bodysuit mixture with the little moon pieces and attachments. Everything about what you were wearing, I imagine you knew is intended and gorgeous. And Arya, you notice, is paying attention.
And every time she catches Arya looking, she just smiles to herself. Looking exactly as planned.
So, does anyone else have anything? Did anyone else have anything they wanted to do, or is Arya and Vanya headed alone with Cypher, the professor?
And Cypher just looks at Kidwin and Arya, Alira, a little bit oddly. Are they coming along?
Vanya's
Would you
gonna
both-
look over. Would you like to?
May as well. My efforts elsewhere have yielded less than fruitful results.
I think you might find this enjoyable. Perhaps it'll brighten your spirit.
Oh, I thought that's what the dance party was for.
Oh, there's that too. But this is something truly special.
This being...
We're gonna meet a dragon.
You're an odd one, too. You have questions for. He says to Alira, just kind of putting a bit of a curious finger up to his lips. It is up to you whether you want to join.
I'd
I'll
have to
join
agree,
the
Illyria.
moment that somebody explains. What is that?
What is what?
She points directly back.
Ah, Alira, this is Professor Cypher. This is Alira, our newest member.
Curious thing.
Whatever happened to your ears?
Oh, no, I'm, I'm human.
Were you born with such deformities?
You are curious. You, I might want to actually... Now, you said you had a room.
Yes, we do. Just upstairs.
Fantastic. Perfect place for us to teleport.
And Vanya will lead the way upstairs.
And you notice that Cypher seems rather eager.
Arya's gonna just like watch it and observe him. Try and get like an indication of what it is he's so eager about. She can guess. It's probably Elia. All things considered, Arya fully understands where she's coming from.
So, you all meet up in one of the rooms, and it looks as if that the professor is in the midst of a spell already, and as you're kind of getting things together. All right, everything's ready. You all ready?
Mm-hmm.
About as ready as we can be.
Get close.
And Arya will put her hand out and grab hold of Vanya's.
I imagine Vanya's brought this.
Okay.
Might have a small freak out.
And so it's so all four of you are going.
Looks like it, Chief.
All right. And in a bit of a whoosh, the spell completes, and you all are all sort of pulled from where you are, lifted very quickly, and landed on a stone slab that's kind of carved with runes on it as you see your feet landing. And when you almost in an instant, and your gut is just full of like these just butterflies, like you're gonna be sick, like you're nauseous. for Alira, this will feel a little bit like the teleportation that the Queen of the Drow sent you all with. It's a little bit more jarring, but as you went from the surface, it seems to, when you look and peer kind of through the windows of the room that you're in, you see that you're in the sky. All of you see that you're in the sky. And just kind of passing by.
Which of the three of my compatriots is the biggest? Like, just in physical stature?
Physical stature right now would be Vanya.
Okay. At this point, Alira is grappled onto Vanya, hanging on for dear life. She is shaking like a goddamn leaf.
Because you see the night sky with stars and clouds outside that window.
And she's just kind of stroking her hair, kind of soothing her a little bit. You're fine. You're not gonna fall. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
I imagine the second that you end up trying that, she just kind of ends up see me to go feral.
Oh my. I did not think that would have such an adverse reaction.
How do we
The motion sickness I can understand, even I get that from time to time. But
she's never been in the air.
Here we go. Arya is going to kneel down next to Alira and put out both her hands like so, very open. Just grab hold. I'll help you find your skylegs. It's okay.
He hesitates quite a bit.
I have magic. No matter what, you will not fall.
oh yes, you're perfectly safe. Perfectly safe. Selter is very good at flying very stably.
She tries to trust the group, but at this point, she's suddenly in the sky. She's not sure what's the worst case scenario that can happen here, but she's assured it will happen.
Well, are we all feeling all right? Are we still kind of motion sick? Do I need cleanup supplies? Do you feel that bad?
I think Alira just needs to get used to the fact she's flying.
Speaking of which, and he directs his voice to you, Alira. You're an elf I've never seen before.
And, she says in broken Elvish,
Oh, I'm just curious to know your story. Would you care to go for a walk? We can leave the Ludbirds to themselves, I'm sure.
She tries to end up walking, though it's very clear she's clinging on to, like, whatever that happens.
Cypher puts out his hand for her to take.
She grips it with all the force of a wet fish could possibly muster.
He kind of taps the floor with his foot. We're on solid ground. It's just that ground is in the air.
Look, this sky, not a normal thing where I'm from.
No, I imagine not.
Dragons, giants, cities above ground. Fairy tales, absolutely. And now I'm seeing them.
Well, you're in one.
Clearly.
What?
Perhaps
Wait. Hold on. In what?
Well, basically, the whole world was one giant fairy tale. And you are inside of a dragon. Right, Selter?
And that's the part I was questioning. Okay.
You see this?
we were eating.
You see this very sort of small, almost silvery, sort of platinum-colored little projection of a very small dragon, dragonborn, maybe, just kind of appear and kind of put her hands on her hips and say, "Honey, we're about to rock your world."
It's good to see you again, Selter.
Oh, hi. Hi, Vanya. How you been?
Better.
Oh, good.
So you're Selter.
Yes, that's me.
This is Arya. Arya, this is Selter. The dragon I was telling you about.
And we are inside of you. Is that correct?
Well, yeah.
Oh my. It doesn't look. Pardon any sort of rudeness or brashness on my part, but this doesn't exactly look like the belly of a beast.
Oh, but it is though. It took a lot of reworking, but made it all mine.
It's lovely.
Well, you ain't seen a half of nothing yet. I'm gonna stay steady while that one is recovering from whatever thing is going on between her and the professor.
A lot of air.
Right.
But then we believe potentially too much.
I can send her back.
Well, why waste the opportunity?
I don't know. Do you
Besides.
want to go back right now? Alira? Is that your name?
No, I'm just. Oh, now she's speaking Elvish, I'm presuming.
She's speaking at you and you understand her.
Okay. I will endeavor, as this is where my party has decided to go. So I will be here. She says, looking out into the sky, realizing that there is no ground, save for what they're standing on, but clearly unnerved at the concept of height at this point.
I know of a way where I can make this better. And you see the projection just kind of snap her fingers, and then there are shutters that come down on the windows, blocking out the sight of the sky. Yeah, should be better. For now, till you tell me otherwise.
She says, a free fall is not better just because you're blindfolded.
I ain't going nowhere, so feel free to explore as you so fit. I'll be around, so just holler if you need me.
What
Alright.
is that?
What do you mean, what is that? I'm a dragon, Missy. Name's Salter. Nice to meet you.
They're a lot smaller than they were in the stories.
This is just to accommodate you and your vision.
Considering we are inside of Selter. Like,
You ate us?
I suppose technically.
Suddenly the idea of free fall is not as bad of an idea. Now in the gullet of a dragon.
But, that being said, like you said, it ain't the belly of a beast you ain't familiar with. So, feel free to explore. I'll be around. Just holler if you need me. I'm in all the walls. Yes, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I'll leave you alone.
Well, that's incredibly presumptuous, especially after stating that you're in all the walls.
It ain't nothing I ever seen that I ain't ever seen before. Honey, you got nothing on the things that I have seen.
I am so sorry that that has occurred inside of you.
I didn't say it was a bad thing.
I'm gonna go explore now.
Bye. Well, y'all have fun. And she just seems to disappear.
Arya is just giving Cypher these, like, what? It's like, what is going on?
Like she said.
I-
Nothing new.
In fairness, I've seen plenty of dragons, and I've seen them in plenty of forms, but this is very new.
The bedrooms are that way.
Stop with that sort of implication. That is not happening here.
I don't know. I think it might be a little bit exciting.
Not you too.
I'll leave you to it. And he takes Alira's hand and he starts to walk off with her down the hallway somewhere.
I want to see the stars. Is there a top deck? Top dragon? Top... Just dial-up noises occur.
All right. So, Kinwin, what are you doing? I'm sorry. Are you following the professor with Alira? Or are you going elsewhere on the ship to explore? What you doing? Oh, you're muted. Yeah, your push to talk ain't working for some reason.
Don't tell me Discord derped on you.
No. Yeah, you might have to switch it back. Or exit the call and come back in. It is not working. Yeah, exit the call and come back in because it's got. There we go.
There we go. We can hear you.
Now we hear you.
I hit the number lock, and instead of hitting the 0, it's hitting insert.
Oh.
Same button.
Oh.
Alright, so I said that, yeah, I'd probably follow the professor.
Okay. All right. Well, Alira, Kinwin, you're following the professor, and he's kind of leading you down a corridor, kind of snakes around the place a little bit, and kind of leads to another sort of larger room that is relatively empty for the most part, except for a few like chairs and things to sit on, and what windows are there are kind of shuttered already. And he kind of guides you, Alira, to sit on one of the couches, and Kinwin for you to sit down as well. Well, I know it's been a bit jarring. I do apologize for that. That's I didn't inform you on what to expect. That is my fault. But it is a pleasure to meet you.
I'm taking full advantage of that couch.
Yes, you taking full advantage of that couch, and kind of just clinging to it. But he's trying to do what he can to calm you down, so that you're not nearly so anxious. So, we can go back if you would like, if this is too much.
It's fine.
Are you certain about that?
No, I'm not. I am potentially thousands of rivers between me and the ground at this point. I am currently in the gullet of a dragon who says they're in the walls, who appears a lot smaller than they do in stories, yet I am somehow still within her gullet. I am currently here right now with the three people who apparently view this as normal. I am here with a poorly crippled elf who refers to themselves as Human. I am trying to end up ascertaining as to whether I've completely lost my mind, as I am still trying to end up wrapping my head around the fact that at this given point what I've walked into was a city that was covered in snow as opposed to ruins that are still on fire.
I can understand how that could be maddening.
Maddening doesn't begin to even cover it.
No, I suppose not. Oh, you see enough of the maddening in your life, and all of it seems as rather trite.
Now I understand why you suddenly just explode rooms of taverns for absolutely no reason. Why not? Nothing else makes sense.
I don't tend to explode rooms in taverns.
Oh, is that just a they thing?
Well,
Not
No.
once in your entire history have you ever ended up causing something to irreparably explode or suddenly fall upwards, or ended up causing some forms of shift within reality itself. I'm sure that everything has a logical explanation as to why it is that things are not on fire.
All of the above and more.
Well, this seems trustworthy.
Kenwin and I have met. We've we've been introduced several times. How were
Clearly.
yes.
It's good to see you again.
It is very good to see you. You look well.
Thank you. You too.
Well, yes. As I should. If you have questions, Miss Alira.
Where do I even start?
Well, I could start.
Okay, let's start. What happened to your ears? Is this some form of disgrace? Did you disgrace your house and been forced to leave in shame? Did they feed you into the belly of this beast in order to end up serving as some form of penance?
Oh no. No. My ears are human. I'm surprised you haven't seen very many humans yet. Arya is a good example of one. Sort of.
But Arya does everything she can to hide her disgrace.
Well, maybe for us it's less of a disgrace and just a unique feature compared to Ult. In your society, I imagine that having short ears is rather looked down upon and frowned upon, actually. Which is
They're carved off by dwarves.
dwarves. The only dwarves I know of are in Halatswa.
I'm sorry, it sounded like you caught a sickness.
El Artsua. I am.
Yes,
Hey.
that disease.
It's a country, actually. Recently gained their own independence in the last 50 years or so. And that's a whole history of another country. My home country, actually. Well,
And
it was.
yours referred to as Human, the...
Yes.
And when you're young, you simply clip your ears.
No, there's nothing so grotesque that happens. They're just naturally this shape. Kindwin, for example, has
My
very
sympathies.
has shorter ears because he is only half an elf.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Indeed, my mother was a human.
And that's why you look pallid. I thought it... Oh. I thought it was suffering from some form of albinoism.
I. It might seem rather strange, but the sort of pallid color is a little more common than you think. But you're certainly unique, as I don't think there are going to be many who would have seen an elf quite like you before. High elf and land elf for certain, but
There there's much to be considered.
Yes, there is. I'm very curious where it is that you come from.
Significantly further south. The deep south, if you will.
Deep south. Of Ionia?
Further down.
Dradith? Or
I
do you
look
mean
up at the ground.
Oh. Deep underground. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, what were we supposed to do? When the world was set ablaze between conflict between Dragonkin and giants, and all other sorts of strange abyssals, and as the cities were being burned and whole landscapes being reduced to ruined decay, anyone wise would end up finding shelter here deeper below. The deeper you dug, the safer you were.
As did a lot of Fae. It makes sense. Very much makes sense. Much is why the adaptations that you have for the dark makes sense.
First thing I see when I end up coming to the surface is to see that the sky is still burning.
Burning?
She gestures to the sun.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Its embers still flicker.
Well, yes. The sun brings light, and light fuels everything that grows here. It is a strange and very unique sort of perspective that you have on the world. And I am very fascinated by you. In all of my years, I've never seen anything like you.
Why is he looking at me as though he's going to put what's left of me in a jar somewhere for study?
I can hear you.
Why is he looking at me as though he is going to end up putting my remains in jars left near to study?
I wouldn't do that prematurely.
And like that, the vote of confidence is hit rock bottom.
No, if I were to do that before your own death, then that'd be unkindly. It's uncouth.
Aria, help!
I ain't there, babe, but I really should have been.
Kinwin's here.
Kenwin, do something!
Help, oh sickly one! You just remain silent. You're on your own.
Wait, help with what? I'm sorry, I got a little distracted.
Well, they were having a conversation about how Alira thinks
He's
that
talking about how he's prepared to end up jarring my organs for study upon his desk.
Is this
only after your own death.
Well,
But even still-
you're not going to need those organs after you die.
Are we just conveniently forgetting what we pulled her out of? We yanked this bitch out of a fucking test tube because her organs were going to be harvested. Wait, just I left Alira alone with these two idiots who have zero nuance. Oh no!
Poor
Kinda
Alira.
I already did die, and I was resurrected, so the harvesting organ things would only happen if, like, resurrections are out of the question.
Hmm. And surely, I promise you this. I will not put you into any test tubes. I will not put your organs on in jars or anything like that, unless you were willing.
I most certainly am not.
Then I apologize.
Ever.
I apologize. It was
And
insensitive.
beakers don't count either.
I seem to have struck a nerve. I sincerely did not think that was...
And if I'm going to end up hearing about you wanting to end up consuming my brain matter next, I know what ship I'm on and where the exit gate is. And I'll take my chances with the fall.
Oh no, I don't consume brains. That sounds of an aberrant nature.
So are you.
I am no aberration, I assure you of that.
I'm finding some evidence to the contrary further we speak.
I'm sorry. Please.
Purpose for being here. We were looking for some links to the undead that were coming out of the mausoleums in the city down below. I presume it's still there.
It is, yes.
And Seltzer hasn't eaten it.
No.
So far, so good. We are looking for information of such. Neither I nor Kinwin could end up ascertaining anything as far as the location of where they could be going or what is going on. We got sidetracked after
Very badly at that.
We needed to end up finding ourselves a way to escape the bar, which had recently exploded, as I mentioned earlier. In which case, when we returned somehow, the other two have managed to end up making merriment enough to perhaps avoid any further trouble. As the song and dance goes on, I was thinking it perhaps was some form of celebration of the exploding of the room. Perhaps it's a ritual that you end up doing afterwards. You enter a room, you explode it, and then merriment ensues. If I would have known that, I would have brought some form of capability to do so, to christen our new dorms. If only I had known. It's not to be disrespectful. However, I assure you I will explode the next tavern I enter to celebrate.
No. You misunderstand. Very likely, as wandering bands are tend to do, they perform for accommodations. In payment.
After exploding them.
No.
Understood.
Explosions are abnormal. Well,
They seem...
I say abnormal, but that's kind of a misnomer in the company that I keep.
So it is normal.
For certain individuals, yes.
And these are certain individuals. Understood.
Well,
I will endeavor to try and explode the next tavern that we enter.
I would say that that is not wise, as you will likely have the local authorities trying to kick the door down to arrest you.
So be sure there's no door. Understood.
How your mind gets to that sort of conclusion.
Observation.
Seeing the world with new eyes.
So yes, the undead.
Yes.
Any knowledge on that, or are we currently in the gullet of a dragon, waiting to be here, digested? As if so, I will just proceed to the digestion chamber and try and make my way out that way, as I'd rather end up going out the soft way rather than the sharp way.
That won't be necessary. As far as the undead goes, yes, I have heard the whispers of the Garnet Keep that a certain number of individuals, I can't say the number for certain, but enough, are testing their powers with the corpses that they whisk away. I thought that perhaps the things in Combe going on were an isolated incident, and that the ziggurat was the end of it. But I was wrong.
And what's a ziggurat? And how dangerous are they? Are they natural predators for us, or is it, does it have particular hunting paths?
It's a particular style of building.
I knew that.
But it would seem that those of a certain kind of cult are looking to expand their powers. To what exactly, I don't have the foggiest. But I know that they're experimenting with creating sentient undead. I've seen the leftovers.
High blasphemy.
In a way, if you consider it such. Certainly is looking like they are testing on corpses that have already passed on whether or not they are able to grant them sentience, and if they are, that could be troublesome.
So what are we looking for?
You're looking for worshippers of the Olden Death. A god long dead. Or at least, we believe as such. But because things are starting to pick up as far as the spread of the necromancy that's going on, it's highly likely that things are getting out of hand. So, you're looking for anyone wearing a certain style of robes. Mostly black, with the skull with one eye. I don't know if you've heard of such a thing, have you? Alira?
Some form of robes. An old dead god. And this popping about worldwide. Am I to understand that correctly?
Yes.
How would we know the signs of worshippers of this old, after this old god, as one doesn't normally just travel in robes appropriate to blaspheme? For all I know, our barkeep could be a
The mark that you're looking for is a skull with one eye.
skull with one eye.
Has one socket, a nose, and a mouth, but the other eye is blank, as if the mark just completely disregards it. Markings of Ouijas are a flaming skull, but that skull has two eyes, and Ouijas no longer has dominion. This is an older god.
Well, I guess we can start looking for that.
I'm sure that your companions will have the exact drawings of such things, so that you know what to look for. But any evidence of roaming corpses will ultimately lead you to them.
They're abnormally stealthy, especially in the snow.
Well, suppose you'll just have to ambush them, wouldn't you? You know that they're going to the crypts. Could always just stake it out for a night.
In the cold, in the wet, with the sky above us, and the embers trickling overhead.
You mean the stars?
That's what I said.
Well, yes. I know that
I
makes
want to
you...
go back in my hole.
My darling,
Very well.
you have been let out of the box. And out of the box you cannot go back in. Once you have made those steps into the unknown, they cannot be unknown. I've done many tricks like that myself.
Very well then, we shall convene with the group, and we will end up here observing this, staking out this mausoleum.
I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for by doing so.
She leads to Kingwood. He intends to kill us both and harvest my organs to put them in glass jars. You could see it in his eyes. Never trust the shorties.
Did I hear that or not?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
She's whispering it to you.
Oh, then no, I'm not gonna kill you. You're my ally and friend. I'm just saying, if you're dead and we can't resurrect you, you don't really need your organs anymore at that point. But of course we would
What
do
sort of-
everything we could to prevent you from dying in the first place.
And as I promised, I will not go anywhere near you and your organs. Ever. You have it on my word, and with Selter as my witness. Meanwhile, Arya and Vanya, you have eventually found a ladder that would allow you to go up at the top, and it is very much built similarly to a ship in that there is a sort of top deck on the quote-unquote back of this thing. As you see that there is a sort of long sort of neck and head that kind of protrudes out of it, and the tail and what looks to be forearms and legs outside the sides of it, just kind of floating. No wings, just sails.
How curious.
I didn't get a chance to come up here last time. Last time we were here, there is so much tragedy going on.
The scales seem to glitter like the stars.
Tragedy. How so?
Tonight we lost Rune.
Oh.
Cypher pulled us up onto Selter and took us back to Combe.
We lost a good friend and ally that time.
You're not in the room.
My bad.
ADHD brain.
Fair.
I see. My apologies. I can't really comprehend how it all happened, but I just know pieces, parts. I keep saying this, just small snippets of things that he remembers. I don't remember this. In all honesty,
I don't think Rune was ever in Selter.
No.
He never got the chance to experience this.
it's so strange. Truth, I've never experienced this in my lifetime either. I think I've mentioned it before, but the Draconian Age. It's a very, very different time. It was filled with an excruciating amount of war and truth. And she just stares off up at the sky, all the stars. Never even really got to see these. The stars, the lights, the people, the song and dance.
Well, at least now you get to see them all. And I guess you could say in the era of as peaceful as this is.
It's an era of change. And though change can be like a storm and a tempest, I think, as it is now, it's a transition. It is capable of being a storm. Perhaps it's the calm before it. But whatever the calm is, want to protect that.
So do I. Hopefully, prevent such a storm from coming in. If that's even possible.
Arya sits down upon Salter and just kind of pats the ground beneath her. She's trying. Are there scales at all?
The deck, as it so looks like it's made of like slats, like wood. Except they're kind of this glittery sort of platinum white sort of metal almost. But also when you pat on them, they feel warm.
There's no doubt.
It's also very cold up here. So the wind the wind is getting a little chilly.
She's very much alive. From the age I'm from, I've never seen a dragon like this. I've met many of them. Funny enough, in many circumstances, the dragons don't even look like dragons. And they look like that when they want to destroy something.
I think it's safe to say Salter is one unique circumstance that we'll never see again.
Oh, extremely. Honestly, it's an... To some degree, I'm not quite sure how I should act around her. Do I speak to her as I did before? Do I... do I speak to her as I do the rest of you? My instincts tell me to speak as if I was in court.
Your instincts are based off of what you experienced. I say your best bet is to speak to her as you would us.
I hope so.
At least until she says otherwise.
When she does, I will be sure to follow. Arya just holds her cloak and winter gear closely and she looks up to Vanya, who is probably still wearing the show outfit. It's just like, do you want in?
And she's gonna sit down next to her and snuggle close.
Yes, because Vanya, if you're wearing your show clothes, it's very cold.
Yeah. She would put a coat on, but even that doesn't stop the cold half the time.
Arya's gonna go ahead and hold her close, keep her warm. Maybe even use a little bit of her prestidigitation to just warm
the
the general air around them.
Yeah.
Warm the blanket, yep.
It's cozy.
You look beautiful tonight, by the way.
Thank you. You did too.
Not as unfairly so as you did.
Well, then I say, this outfit worked to why I wanted it to.
Oh?
You're too easy to tease.
Too easy. We'll just have to test that theory. Am I the easy one, or are you?
Sounds like a fun little game.
As soon as we're not on a dragon that can see on all parts of it.
I know, see, that's the exciting part.
And see, I'm not so bold. Or rather, more accurately, she kind of squeezes Vanya very close to her and whispers in her ear. It's more like I don't want to share.
You know what? I don't want to share either. But just something exciting about the somewhat forbidden.
Oh, that's dangerous thoughts right there.
She's gonna get up and pull Arya with her. And use minor illusion to kind of create a little song and just pull her into a little dance. Keeping within the little warm area, but...
Just a snuggled up dance.
Yep. On top of a dragon.
Yep.
Midair.
Snuggle dance in midair. Yep.
Nothing unusual.
Nothing at all.
Narya will go ahead and dance with her. There were times that I thought that maybe a lot of my affections for you were not my own. Maybe it was all Vern's, all his. And that thought alone has made me very nervous to engage. I admit. But you are so charming. You're strong. You're beautiful. And I adore every moment I spend with you. So, I'm starting to believe fully. I understand why Rune fell for you. But I think my affections are my own. And she will put her hand underneath Vanya's chin and bring her in for a kiss. And she goes for the full makeout, like, tongue. All right.
And Vanya's certainly leaning into...
Wonderful! And that's about as much frisky as we're getting on the dragon.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Technically counts as a threesome.
Right.
But you are all free to meet up once more after Arya and Vanya have had their moment together for as long as they want together.
Excellent.
And you are, if you're sufficient with the exploring that you have done of the ship called Selter, the professor will take you back to the teleportation circle in the sort of like raised rock formation that's on top of the floor, and it begins the incantation for the spell to send you all back to the surface.
Before they head out, Arya's going to look with like a very kitty cat smirk grin on her face, like, how was your stay, Alira? Did you get to explore?
They will not get my organs. They will not get my organs. They will not get my organs.
She's gonna flash a look at Professor Cypher and she'll just be like, what? And then they're gone.
Leaving you right in front of the tumbled wench. almost as if no time has passed.
We're never doing that again. Ever. Ever. It's not happening. No.
Alira, are you alright?
I was in the gullet of a dragon.
Oh, that's true. Well, I would have asked you to join us on the deck. Back. But I knew you were a bit afraid.
And that would have made it so much worse.
Well, we're back on
You're all
solid ground
mad.
now. I would have to agree. Just a little bit.
We are, we are to observe the monastery or the mausoleum and perform a stakeout on the presumption that the individuals will return. And then we will end up here going from there.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, that's right! We were hunting cultists.
I think that is a perfect line to end the session for tonight. With Eric's face being so dumbfounded.
Oh god.
I only managed to break specs once this entire game, unfortunately. Saw Raven lose, doing
Yeah,
everything.
no,
Don't lose your shit. Don't lose your shit.
Lyra's so cute. I love
no,
her.
I needed to laugh though, so that's much appreciated.
It's okay.
Love it. Love to see it. Well, that brings us to the conclusion of tonight's session. So thank you guys so much for playing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm very glad. Yeah, I'm very glad that we got pretty much a full session out of that today. So,
Yeah.
thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Well, then I think we should move on to our sim experience. So we didn't really do a whole lot of venturing into the plot, but it was more of a personal session that to get things planned for anyway. So I'm going to give, obviously, you get the 5 for showing up. And then I'm going to give you guys 2 for your ventures with the professor tonight. And then we have the roleplay prompts. So we do have 4 characters who are going to be on the poll for that. But first we've got to deliberate between the cast members as to who moved our plot the furthest. What little we did, who had the best scene from tonight, and who had the best line. So, who was our plot driver?
Can I nominate myself for taking us on a stupid side quest?
Yeah.
Side quest is appropriate.
I'll give it to Aria
Yeah.
on that one.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, side quests
Yeah, I'll
are
give it to Aria.
available to do that, so you can do that if you want. Alright. Well, that's 3 for Aria. And what were you gonna vote in?
Oh, Aria.
Aria. Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
So best scene from tonight.
Oh god. Either way, I have 2 best scenes, and either way it's Alira. The 4 natural ones in a row. Holy mother of fuck.
Oh no.
The other one
I'm not
is
rolling dice anymore. Interacting. Everything I touch is dust.
Oh my god. Gambling, don't ever do it.
Ironically, decent player at blackjack just can't do.
Dice rolls,
anything
forget it. Yep.
Oh yeah. In fact, you might end up recalling. Pretty sure Hero Zone's lurking when Hero Zone was running this game. One of the characters I ended up playing actually ended up playing blackjack, but rather than roll for dice, we actually played a couple hands of blackjack.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that. Yes.
My
Shout out
other
to
best
Matt.
scene. Yes. My other best scene nomination is Alira's horrible conversation with Professor Cypher.
Yeah.
It's just everything about it was just sold for me. It was so funny.
Where Alira's
And
just
everyone
out
just
of her
kept
element so
digging.
bad. Yep.
Everyone else is just making the situation worse, not better. I'm like screaming because no one has any nuance.
No. Everybody's pretty direct about what they want. Professor Cypher also being one of those.
Yeah, I'd have to say Alira for the scene with Cypher.
Mm. Okay, well that's 2 votes, Alira. What you think, Derek?
I'll take it. I'll be greedy.
A little bit greedy. All right. Yep. Best line. Woden, I want to hear your opinion first.
Dude, I
Don't
can't
think too
really
hard,
think of
Logan.
one that pops up into my mind.
Do you have one, Derek?
Oh, I got 2.
Hmm.
And the fact that these 2 are giggling could end up telling you they already know what the line is. Organs in jars. Though the second place on my roster would have ended up being. They get more. Apparently, they're better at hiding their tracks in winter.
I also voted Lyra, but it's for the Arya does what she can to hide her disgrace, which fucking broke me. The delivery was so good.
Yeah,
I think that's a roasted Professor
That was
Cypher.
a really good one. That Spectre did say.
I think that's a dig at Professor Cypher not having long hair.
I want to say runner-up though would have to be Arya's. Oh, that's right, we were hunting cultists.
Alira got the audience vote, but there was only 1 vote in there, guys. Oh, meow. Well, Alira, you get the audience favorite. Only
Yay.
1 person has said.
Yeah, Illyria gets my vote for the line too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I told you I'm being greedy.
Pretty. I think that's a clean sweep for Alira today.
Yeah,
Nope.
it is.
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
Arya ended up taking plot mover.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's right.
However, that does put me at 55 out of 90.
You're very close
Okay.
to level 9. Nice. Nice. Anyone ding a level today or no? Nope, no dings.
Close.
I'm 1/4 of a ding.
We need a very satisfying ding noise for when that happens,
I'm in the 80s.
so I can put it in the
That's
sound
weird,
alerts.
so.
Yes, beautifully done. Well, that concludes everything for tonight here with Rebirth. So we're gonna find possibly somebody to raid. Hopefully, there is someone to raid tonight, so that we can send all of you lovely people out in the audience that way. And we will definitely be back for more Rebirth next week, and hopefully have our full cast again next week as I'm pretty certain that there were some technical issues that were going on that was keeping Mojo and Lethality from being able to join us today. But hopefully we'll have them back next week. And so, until then, everyone, say goodnight.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night.